It's Kenny from Mag Chop. We're chopping it up. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Kenny. I am the artist and designer behind Mag Chop. If you haven't been here before, welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy it. If you've been here before, thank you for the support. I appreciate you coming back. No matter what you do, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so that way you get notifications when I do a new video. All right, let's get to it. So one of the things I want to talk about, as you guys always know, I'm always talking about the things you go through as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And I want to talk about to the people that have a product, or maybe you have merch. And this is where you're making your, some of your ends meet is coming from. Some of your, your income is coming from these merchandise and things that you're selling. And I want to talk about branding and the product and everything like that, because this was something that I had to really go through and I had to learn, and I'm still going through a bit of a process. And one thing I need you guys to all understand as an entrepreneur, one of the things that we have is the hardest thing, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, maybe you're not an entrepreneur and you're just like watching my video to hear what we go through. Is that people tend to be a lot less forgiving with entrepreneurs than with big companies. So what I mean by that is there are situations where, let's say, with my products, I don't keep a very large stock of my products. So sometimes somebody orders something that I haven't sold in a while, and guess what? I got to go make that product now. And the thing about making a product is normally I don't just make one. It's not feasible to make one. So I have to make multiple of them. So if you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business, you have your own product, you're going to find yourself in a situation where somebody might order something that you don't normally sell that often, and boom, you got to make 3 or 4 of them to get a price that's pretty decent, and to make any kind of difference. So you end up spending so much just to make this little bit, and now you're hoping that these other ones sell. So it's one of the things that I go through. And then the other thing that you got to go through is the quality of your product, how you want your product to look, feel, handle, work, things like that. And then, of course, there's the packaging, which we're going to get all into that. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was my Mag Chop hoodies, because this was quite a learning lesson with the Mag Chop hoodies. First, I never really thought about the weight distribution of a hoodie, and that can really affect the comfort of the hoodie, the warmth of the hoodie, the usage of the hoodie, right? So here's the original hoodie. Now, the first time this hoodie popped up was when I was in New York. I went to New York. It was a cold Christmas, so I bought the sweater. I had it made, and you see the Mag Chop logo in the front. It's a pretty thick sweater, pretty warm. So when I put in for the order to order a bunch of them, because they started selling, that first year they started selling, what ended up happening was I didn't look at the weight. I didn't look at what that particular sweater was. I knew I liked it because it was heavy. I like a heavy sweater. I wished it was a little heavier. But what I got was a sweater like this. It has white strings. It's a lot thinner. It's a thinner sweater. It's still warm, but it's thin. It's nice. It has a little more usage because of the fact that it's not a very heavy sweater, so you can use it on a cool day where you won't be too hot. Now, because of the fact that nobody had actually seen, felt, worn my sweaters except me, when I shipped the sweaters out, everybody was pretty happy with them. But I wasn't. Inside, I was thinking, man, that's not the sweater I wanted them to get. So I've taken some time and I've been looking at different sweaters and saying, okay, I want to redo them. Plus, when I came out with the first Mag Chop shirts, the logo wasn't exactly right. As you can see, that logo is not 100% accurate to my logo. The shape of it is, on both of them, it's really the same. The shape of the logo didn't change. And this is very important for your branding. Whatever your logo is, it has to match. It has to look the same. Nike wouldn't be the same without the swoosh. The logo, if it was a little bit crooked, you see these people that make these knockoff Jordans and one of his legs is bent, and it's like, what is that? So it's important for branding that your logo and that everything that you present about your product is where you want it to be and the standard you want it to be at. So I just made this new sweater recently. Now this sweater carries the actual colors of the logo in proper form. It's a heavier sweater. It's very thick, very heavy, what I want. So when it gets cold outside, which of course now it's coming in the summer, so I'm a little bit behind, but I'll be ready for next year. when I want you to put my Mag Chop sweater on, I want you to feel snug. I want you to feel warm. I want you to feel like you got something of substance on. And so that's what is important to me. So I'm gonna carry the other ones because of the fact that I did get a lot of positive feedback. People are like, man, I love this sweater. I can wear it anywhere. So I'm gonna keep both of them. I don't have them both on the internet at this point. I'm going to reshoot them and everything like that, and I'll be able to put a better description of them. And that's another thing that's important if you're selling things online, the description. I'm going to be working on my website and adding more descriptions. And so if you have a product and you have a site, you have a store online, make sure that you're descriptive of your product so people know kind of what they're getting, what to expect. The next thing I want to talk about is, obviously, every show is brought to you by the Mag Chop 15-ounce collection. I'm going to actually show you a retired mug. It was one of the most popular mugs in the collection, which was it was a very difficult decision to decide to retire this mug. As you guys know, with the Mag Chop 15-ounce collection, at the end of every year, one mug does retire and a new one takes its place. Now, this is a mug that obviously I have to bring back, but I'm going to bring it back a little bit different because in this particular first version of it, I didn't show the whole piece, which is the piece behind me, which is First Impression. Okay, so this is the mug, First Impression. Now, the mugs come shipped, and they come first in a plastic little bag like this, right? Now, I bubble wrap them, and then I put them inside a box. Now, I used to not do this. Check out this box. The box features artwork on the top. It's like a 6x6 box. Nice, because you know what, when people get their box, when they get their mug now, it's like, oh, look at this, look at the nifty little box. It's got multi-uses. Sorry, there's some mosquitoes flying around here. So this is important. Packaging is important. And at first, you know, when I first would bring packaging up to my team, they would say, oh yeah, we packaged it. So I would say, well, let me see. And so I would open up the box, and sure enough, the mug was in there. It was wrapped in bubble tape, but that was originally how I would ship them. I would put the mug in bubble tape, really solid. I mean, this thing could probably survive a nuclear bomb. Put it in, and I would put it just in a shipping box and box it. But I just, you know, it wasn't impressive to me. I wanted something that when people open up the Mag Chop, the box that Mag Chop comes in, the shipping box, I want the packaging to be as awesome as the product inside of it. And so that was really important to me because packaging, I think, says a lot about your product. So you might want to consider that. When I first shipped the sweaters out, I would just wrap them up in some plastic, put them in a box, and ship them. Now I'm working on an actual packaging for them. They're a little bit big, so it's a little harder. The t-shirts, they come in their own little box that matches similar to these boxes. You know, it's a black box. It opens up. Some of them are white. Sometimes, depending on what I get, sometimes I get them black, sometimes I get them white. But that's what they come in. So you want to make sure that when you're presenting your product, you present your product in a way that's going to be beautiful, because you want people to say, wow, look at this, look what I received. So that's very important. So make sure you keep that in mind while you're deciding how you want to present your product, your merch, and what you want to do. Now, make sure you guys go on to magchop.com because I do have a lot of cool new products on there. I have a lot of new products coming soon. We are working on a new fashion line, and it's really awesome. I'm excited about it. So I will keep you posted and on all of that stuff. All right, so the next part of my video that I want to talk about is product placement. Where is your product? So you have this cool product with cool packaging. How do people get it? How do they find it? For me, obviously I do social media, which is makes things a lot easier. Social media has made life so much easier for so many entrepreneurs. But there's more to that. You want to make it interesting. You want people to get it. How do you get people to your website? You know, you do the SEO thing, which is search engine optimization, to get, you know, trigger words. So when people are searching for something, it leads them back to your product. But the competition is vast. So you got to get creative. How I got creative was I went to the music industry, found music videos, put some products in music videos. You can look at a Chico V video. The girls are wearing the Mag Chop activewear and bathing suits. If you look at Marriage Killer on Amazon Prime, Kristen Renton and Jason London actually sit right in front of one of my pieces of art. If you're watching Crossing the Line with me in it, you'll notice that the moment that the second star of the movie walks into the restaurant that I'm in, as he passes, you could see the Mag Chop mugs on the table. So there's different ways that I was presenting my product and putting it in different places and finding it. Another thing, one of the things that I do is when I go to events, most of you guys know this, I always have my mug with me. I'm always drinking out of one of my mugs. I take it almost to every event. You know, I take a different mug with me so people see it and they always ask me, hey, where'd you get that mug? There, boom. I got a chance to give them my card, give them. So you want to get creative with your products no matter what it is. You got to show them. You got to show the world. So the only way you're going to do that is to get out there and put it out there. And that's a very important part of your product. So product placement is everything. Put it in every show you can get into. If you can get into movies, you can get into. Let me tell you, when you get into movies, it becomes movie memorabilia. And people like to collect stuff like that. So this is one of the reasons why I went that route. Especially with my 15-ounce collection. I made a collector's item out of it because of the fact that one of them retires. I want people to sit there and go, man, you know what? I want that mug. I saw a mug that was in a picture somewhere. I don't have that mug. I want that mug. How do I find that mug? That's one of the things that I would like to do. I want people to search them out. I would like to have a mug in every household in the world. But I got to start. I'm going to start with Florida, work my way through the United States, and then the rest of the world. So get creative about your product. Get creative about your merchandise. Get creative about presenting it, promoting it, and getting it out there, because it's a very tough world. I mean, you have all these different places to buy stuff. You have Etsy, you have Mercari, you have eBay, you have Amazon, you have so many, and there's even more that are coming out now. So you've got to really push your product to get it out there, to get it, especially if you're an entrepreneur and this is where your primary income is. You know, as with the case with me, MagChop is my primary income. So I have to work that much harder to make sales, to do things. And when things aren't selling, when things get rough, I got to find other ways to make money. Legal, of course, but I've got to do it. I've got to hustle. And, you know, you could be surprised at things you end up doing when you're an entrepreneur, but you get creative. The great thing about being an entrepreneur and works for yourself is that you do get a little bit more time to make your own schedule. So with me, I can do artwork at night and I can work it overnight. And then if I got the kids in the morning where I got maybe a school event or something like that, or maybe you got a family event that you want to go to or attend, or whatever the case may be, sometimes a business meeting. You know, I know that sometimes people will call me and say, hey, listen, I'd like to meet with you about something. All right, let's go tomorrow noon. I know for a fact I can make it because I'll structure my schedule around that. Now, it gets a little bit difficult sometimes when you find yourself in a situation where you're trying to hustle, make some money, and then people throw a wrench in it. It's like, yeah, I need to meet you today. And you're like, yeah, I could do it, but do I really want to stop from this right now? So make sure you do your work balance, your work-life balance life, work it out. It's a very difficult thing that you can find yourself in. So make sure you take the time to meet with people, but make sure you get the time to make your product, box your product, ship your product, advertise your product. So you have to structure your day. You have to really learn that as an entrepreneur. And I've had to learn that because it's very easy to get up in the morning and just kind of chill, kind of relax and be like, yeah, I'll get up in an hour. No, you have to consider this your job. This is your job. It's full time, and it's going to take every bit of your energy, your resources, your creativity to be able to make it successful. So I hope this helps you out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you keep watching. I got a lot of cool stuff that's going to be coming up. Great events that I've been a part of that I kind of want to start showing a little bit more of. So thank you for watching again. This is Kenny from MagChop. Till next time.
For the rugged. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta